Hey Wastelanders, this is Gary from The Last Ranger. You can see on my desk like a lot of knives, many more under this cloth, many more up top and in this box. This box contains many of the knives that I carry every day. That's how I do my rotation. I put the the box is full, and so I have my desk covered with knives. I have like many cases of knives that I've managed to put away, but I find myself going back to this this black or brown box and this box on top of it, and some of the knives laying around my desk, and then I have some knives over there on the shelf, some knives down there in the drawer. But anyway, I found myself somewhat carrying either 5 knives, mainly 5 knives as a primary or a secondary or even a tertiary knife. And I don't know why, but I can't get rid of these knives from my rotation. Once I discovered them, once I bought them, I'm always carrying them. I see. Let me show you 5 knives that I carry pretty much every week. So the first one is the Kaiser Comfort. I know I think I've reviewed this, or I think I did a boxing. I haven't reviewed the knife, I believe. Maybe I did a quick look at it. This is the Kaiser Comfort. I carry this, I don't know why, because it's more of a, I think of it as a more outdoorsy knife because of its shape and its fatness. The handle's so chunky. But this is a Kaiser Comfort, and it's in 154 cm. You can see it's designed by Michael Prech. That's how I think it's pronounced. So I carry this knife a lot. It makes me feel, I have like pain in my hands all the time. When I squeeze this knife, it kind of makes the pain subside a little bit. It makes it go away. Oddly enough, those wood blocks make the pain go away too. So I find myself carrying this knife all the time, and it's a great front flipper. I don't normally like front flippers, but I don't mind it. Anyway, I need to do something about this handle. This handle is in G10. It's very thick. I'm thinking about sending it off to someone that can sculpt it, maybe put some ridges in it so it's more grippier. Yeah, so this is one that I carry. In the 5 I carry often. This is another one I carry, oddly enough. I believe you can one hand open it, but for me it's easier to use 2 hands. But it's by Jered Design, and it's really thin frame lock. Very odd shaped blade, but I find this blade so good looking. I don't know, maybe it's the designer in me, but this blade looks so handsome. The whole knife looks so handsome. I think it's a super good design. Wow, the blade follows the framework. It's such a good looking knife. This is in VG10 steel, and that reason I carry this much so much, if I know I'm going out to eat or something, I think it would make a great steak knife, make a great knife to use in any food situation. So I find myself with this knife in my pocket often. So this is a knife, number 2 on the list, that I find myself carrying all the time. And this is a really good knife. Oh, this is the Inyan, sometimes called the Assassin, but it's the Assassin's the maker of this. This is called the Inyan, and this is in I believe it's in N690 steel. And why I fell in love with this knife is primarily because I love the design. I love the bolster. I love how it has a inconspicuous flipper tab, and when you flip it, everything is hidden. I love how it's hidden, semi-hidden when you open it, or before you open it, and it's definitely hidden when you open it. And it's a big knife. It's a big knife. It's let me give you a measurement. I believe I reviewed this knife, but I forgot how long it is. The blade is about 3.75 inches. So it's a very big knife. You can see it in my hands. The handle extends past there. I like carrying it. It's what I think. I don't know. Maybe an operator would carry. Probably not, because it's not the easiest thing to open. You can hit your finger when you open it. If you don't get your finger out of the way, you can hit your finger on the flipper tab. So you just have to get used to it and getting your finger out of the way. But I still carry it, and I still like it. It's a nice slicer. It's a really big knife, and yeah, I find myself in love with this knife for some reason. Next up is the banana. I can't think of the real name for it because I called it the banana so much. I forget the real name of it, so I'll put it down on the screen. Anyway, this is a really good knife. Believe it or not, it's really good. I find it being yellow, I was originally going to dye it, but I didn't. I fell in love with the look. Look at this blade. The detail on the stone washing is so nice. The blade shape is so nice. I find myself operating it with this. I put my finger on this, and there's a lot of control when you put your finger on this. I know it's close to the choil, but I mean, unless you're like fighting somebody or being aggressive, you don't have anything to worry about, because it has jimping on that, and it has a nice thumb lock. It's in a 14CN 28 steel, and I love how it looks. I love anywhere from the pivot design to the color and the blade shape. And this is another one that I planned on doing a flipper delete, because I like to flip it open with a Spidey flick, but I got used to the opening mechanism, so I'm kind of hooked on this knife the way it is. I don't know what changes I'll do to it, but for now I've been enjoying it ever since I got it. So let me show you guys the last knife that's in my rotation all the time. This is the Dagger Pelican. I remember this knife, the name. But it's the Dagger Pelican, and it's probably the knife that only a mother could love, or the creator of the knife could love. As in, I mean, everybody likes the skull clip, and everybody sort of likes the blend job I did on it. But when I open it up, the knife, everybody like, oh man, that's the ugliest blade I've ever seen. But I like it. It's kind of a blade that grows on you. It's ugly. I agree, it's ugly, but it's one of my favorite dagger knives. Oddly enough, I find myself carrying it all the time. Of the three or four dagger knives I have, I carry it all the time. And this opening mechanism, you can, it's kind of like an Emerson wave. You can open it out of your pocket using this. In a review of this knife, when I did a review of this knife, showing the Emerson wave feature. But I find myself using a thumb stud, and then if I get bored, I'll shake it out. It's hard to do around the camera because I'm not trying to hit the camera, but anyway, I like this knife. I carry this knife all the time, and people see this knife that are not knife people, and they're like, that's an interesting knife. Anyway, this has been a short video. Feel free to, if any knife creators or anybody that wants to do a video, please share with me how many knives that you carry on a weekly basis, and you constantly carry. I mean, I carry these knives enough that I can't ever put them away. Take care, Wastelanders.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness too.